Okay, so here I am, Pioneer Square, Portland, Oregon, which was the epicenter of the, where all the attention of all the so-called anti-fascist Antifa riots and slash BLM riots for the folks that were really extremists, rather than protesting nicely like should be done in a progressive society. They decided that damaging and destroying things. Now that's interesting because our country, the genesis of our country, was of course on violence and fighting back strongly against the powers that be. But there's a huge difference between those folks and what we're seeing today. The people who founded this nation, as far as its constitution, its political structure, were very highly educated people, and they had a plan. They did not all agree on the plan, and there was much debate on how to set it up. And then the only way to truly break away from monarchy and the king was, of course, to fight it out in the Revolutionary War. It's really difficult to know, impossible to know, that the people today who believe they are some sort of revolutionaries fighting for a righteous cause against the past and what they see as the oppression of the present, it's impossible to know what exactly would they replace this with. Do they have a plan? Are they educated? Or are they just hurt and angry? Could they build a society like we have now? If they implemented their dreams, what would we have in 200 years? I'm not convinced it would be a great thing. What we have here was built over much time, progress, setbacks, learning from our mistakes. The struggle of liberty and justice and freedom has not been perfect at all. It's been the type of struggle you would expect humanity to go through in order to develop the amazing society we have today, which nobody would ever claim was perfect, has been right for everybody all the time. There's been terrible things that have happened in U.S. history. Of course, you have to look at it in context, and like I've said before, I don't believe we're in a position to judge. We're just simply in a position to understand and be fair and learn. And also, I know that there's things we need to do to improve the system today. I don't like rigged systems. I don't believe the elite should be pushing out others who are trying to progress and live the happiest life. And the fact of the matter is that that's what the founders of this nation tried to accomplish with the checks and balances, power of the people, consent of the governed, innocent until proven guilty, protecting your religion from the government, protecting your speech from the government, protecting your thought from the government. All those things were put into place that were not evenly, we didn't see progress evenly over time on those things. Many people, including my ancestors on one side of my family who were part of the founding of the Mormon Church, they certainly did not have religious freedom or liberty. They had land stolen from them. They had violence wrought against them, an extermination order by the governor of Missouri. And so I know from my studies that this experiment has not always gone well, but what it has done is struggled and progressed over time to what we have today, which is, I think, easily justified as one of the most diverse, progressive, free societies humanity has ever known, with the least amount of racism for such a diverse society that you can imagine here in 2021. Room for improvement, of course, but I don't think the folks that have besieged this city have the answers, and I don't think they have the wherewithal, or they're even acting in good faith in order to provide something better. And so, because they're not acting in good faith and all they're doing is damaging a city and making it difficult for the people here to enjoy life and liberty in several different ways, I don't think that they should be taken seriously, and when they break the law they should be held accountable instead of being bailed out by money donated by left-wing politicians, Hollywood types. These are the extremes we do not want to be supporting, including those folks who stormed the Capitol, the relative few of that group that went in and did what they did. It shouldn't be happening. But I find it interesting and a little ironic and telling that we could have months and months of this kind of damage and domestic unrest, and it's not being stopped or condemned as much as the Capitol riots were. And I think the reason is because this is far away from the elites. The elites didn't feel this pain. People did, normal people did, but the elites didn't. But once the elites had a little fear and one of their sanctuaries was stormed by angry people, then all of a sudden they didn't like violence, and then all of a sudden they spoke out against it. That's telling if you kind of think through that, what that means. When it was close to home for them, then they took action. Then they didn't like it, but yet cities were burning across America. People were being terrorized across America all summer long, and many of these elites dismissed it or even tried to justify it in so many ways. And if you don't believe me, do a little research, look it up, remind yourself. I know Facebook is distracting and we have a short memory, but look it up. That's what's happened. It's ironic and it's strange, and it doesn't bode well for a republic when you have selective outrage and selective enforcement of justice. Not good. We're trying to get better there, and we've stepped backwards. So anyway, here we are, Portland, Oregon. A little Northwest adventure, checking things out. It's actually kind of fun exploring this city again with this snow on the ground. I really wished I brought some cross-country skis. That would have been pretty cool. All right, I'm out.